Ladies and gentlemen, of the interwebs out there, Sebastian Envy Strong Style Cinephile, reigning defending AIWF America's Heavyweight Champion, of course. So we got our final trailer for Blue Beetle, so let's geek about it for a scant few minutes, because while it gave us a bunch of fresh footage on Jaime and his interactions with the Scarab and how we can kind of guess how things are going to go. We got to look at Susan Sarandon, her villain. She's playing the sister of Ted Kord. We've got Conrad Carapax, the Instructable Man, who's going to be the villain. I'll talk about him in a second. Got a lot of him and that face-off between him and Blue Beetle. And some more George Lopez and some of the other characters. We kind of see how they're going to fit into the film. Some humorous moments, like at one point you see his Nana wielding this giant Gatling gun type thing, so I'm sure that's going to be a moment, although that's kind of one of those things that you wish they hadn't spoiled. That's the problem with trailers and multiple trailers. There's little stuff like that probably would get a bigger reaction in the theater when you see it, won't now because we've seen it in the trailer. But it is what it is. That's just trailers today and just how things go. We know that Jaime's going to get the Scarab, and he's going to have it. It's an origin story, which, you know, we're going to face those origin tropes, because clearly Jaime's going to reluctantly get the Scarab attached to him. He's going to go through this learning curve where we see these hijinks where he splits the bus in half, and you see all this property damage he's doing as he's like flying around. We see him, the Scarab, take over in conflict where it generates a weapon or does, you know, whatever for him, and then at some point in time he's going to learn how to use it. They bond. They're going to be I don't want to say antagonistic, but they'll be kind of not seeing eye to eye, and then there'll be a certain point in the film where they will suddenly see eye to eye. They unite. The family is threatened. Jaime's got to like muster all his newfound superhero-ness and save his family, defeat the villain, save the day. It's pretty paint-by-numbers origin comic book movie stuff, which again is, I don't know, it just, I say all the time, there's no good, I say this all the time about television, but the same can apply to movies. There's no good real television shows. There's good, reliable television formulas, and it's the execution of said formula that determines how good the show can be. Because we can pick out, and the same could apply to movies, we could pick out any movie, any TV show, and you can name 5 other just immediately. Anywhere from 3 to 5 other TV shows or other movies that have the exact same plot, have the exact same characters, doing the exact same type of things. It's just formulas at this point. There's stuff rarely that kind of steps outside the mainstream movies. I mean, there's tons of, you know, these art house type movies or smaller indie movies that just step outside the box and really are doing different things, experimenting. But mainstream, big blockbuster, franchisey type stuff, basically the same type of film. And to me, Blue Beetle is no different, which could hamper its success. Now, James Gunn has gone on record saying that this is the first hero of his DCU, but Superman Legacy is the first movie of his DCU, which is like, that's stupid to say. And Blue Beetle falls into this weird point where apparently some people like it, but a lot of people like The Flash. Apparently the suits and the bean counters like The Flash, allegedly like The Flash. You know, James Gunn said it was the greatest superhero movie he's ever seen. But it was made before he arrived, before him and Peter Safran got on board to be the DCU czars. That's when Flash was made. Blue Beetle also made before they came on board with the old regime. So he's in this, I'm wondering, does he really like it? Is he really going to embrace it going forth, or is he just doing that to try to not kneecap the movie before it comes out and give people some hype to go see it to hopefully make some kind of money off of it, unlike The Flash, which is now the worst bomb in superhero movie history. Wow. It said there's going to be some cameos in this, some DC cameos. I'm really hoping not, because we're trying to distance ourselves from, unless it's from people he's going to cast in the future. Because if it's anybody from the Snyderverse, it's stupid. You're shooting yourself in the foot, because we're trying to move. You were brought in to reboot everything, so you're trying to move past this, not give any more fodder or ammunition or whatever to the Snyderverse cult trolls to keep the universe going, or save the Snyderverse, or sell it to Netflix, or any other that bullshit. So it's kind of falls in this weird spot, because Like, does it matter or doesn't it? Like, does it matter or does it not matter? That's the question for this film and where it falls going forth. Because no, Aquaman basically does not matter. So does this movie matter? Remains to be seen how it all plays out. Because you can't have it both ways. Outside of that, we saw some good shots of the villain, Carapax the indestructible man, who in the comics, Conrad Carapax was an archaeologist turned villain due to an unfortunate experience that resulted in his death. He came across a fully indestructible giant robot when he was on an archaeological expedition. When he found the robot, it malfunctioned and killed him, and then his mind became a part of the robot, and then he became Carapax the Indestructible Man. And Carapax came in contact with the Ted Kord Blue Beetle a number of times. So I'm wondering in the movie going forth if they're going to draw from any of that history, or is this going to be fresh face, like first encounter between Carapax and Jaime. Again, Susan Sarandon is playing the sister of Ted Kord, which is why she thinks she's entitled to the scarab. So I'm wondering how that interaction is going to go. Does he have any history with the previous Blue Beetle in this? Did she have something to do with the previous Blue Beetle's death? Remains to be seen how things kind of go. The movie kind of gives you like this Iron Man meets Spider-Man sort of vibe to it. So again, I'm wondering if people are going to like see the character on the posters and like think it's like a ripoff of Spider-Man or Iron Man, or maybe that's going to entice people to come in because, oh, it's like kind of like Spider-Man or it's kind of like Iron Man. And that'll bring people to the theaters. There's so many questions with this film. I'm looking forward to it. It looks fun. It looks like a fun family type movie that's pushing the message of family. It's a positive, upbeat, sort of optimistic type of movie. At least that's what it looks like. Pushing the vibe of family and the importance of family and having their support, being there for them. I like that. So, I mean, I'm going to check it out. I'm just curious to kind of see, again, does it matter? Or is this just a lame duck thing that they're trying to hype up as best they can to make as much money as they can to be opposite of The Flash, which sucked, and box office-wise sucked. So it remains to be seen how it all rolls together, but I guess we'll find out in a few short weeks, because it comes out in August. So I guess we'll all find out together. But anyway, those are some of my thoughts on it. Scattered as they often are. What do you guys out there think? Let me know in the comments below. Follow me on social media. Talk to me there. Talk to me here. Until next time, let us geek.